All right, put credit spreads. So this involves selling a put and buying a put further out to create a credit spread. So you guys have seen this before. Even if you didn't know it, you have definitely seen this before. So what is a put credit spread? That is wrong. A put credit spread involves selling a put and buying a put further out to define our risk, right? And we're going to do so to create a credit. That's why it's called a credit spread. So let's say we're going to sell this put and we're going to buy this put. We're doing it for a credit, right? So we're receiving 79 cents or $79 into our brokerage account as soon as we do it, right? So this is a put credit spread. We're going to sell a put and buy a put further out of the money, right? And this is no different than just selling a naked call and buying a put to define our risk, right? And the way we make money here is just like all short call positions. They're bullish strategies. We make money when the prices of the stocks go up. We make money when implied volatility decreases. And we make money when our short put is out of the money at expiration, right? So again, this is no different than what you've seen before. It just kind of has like a different name here. So what we want to do is we want to see how profitable the strategy is. Now remember, this is a bullish strategy in a bull market, right? So the overwhelming guess is that this is going to be a profitable strategy, right? So what we wanted to do is every single day, so 14 and a half plus years of data, we sold the 40 delta put and bought the 20 delta call, right? So what that looks like here is a little bit different than the call side because of skew, right? So we're selling the 40 delta put and we're going to go ahead and buy the 20 delta put, right? So this is $7 wide. We're going to collect $125 for doing so. Our max profit is $125. Our max loss is $575 on this specific trade. So again, we're selling the 40 delta put, buying the 40 delta call. We're doing it for a credit, thus the credit spread, and we're doing it on the put side, so put credit spread. So we did this every single day. Here are the results when we just held to expiration and did no trade management. So this, as you could have expected, is a bullish strategy in a bull market. You're right 77% of the time for an average 62 cents per day. Quite a positive strategy considering the fact that there's a decent return on capital here, right? With defined risk, credit spreads do give you higher return on capital, right? So now we wanted to take it a step further and we want to say, okay, buying back our winners has worked in the past. Maybe it will work here too. So what we did is we did the strategy every day where we sold the 40 delta put, bought the 40 delta put to create a put credit spread. We are getting money to do so. We're creating a credit for doing so. And what we want to do is compare that strategy of holding to expiration to the strategy of buying it back if it reaches 50% of our max profit. So we place this trade where we're selling the 40 delta put, the 244 put, and buying the 20 delta put, the 237 put, and for that we're collecting $1.25. If the price of this spread, this put credit spread, got to 62 cents, we would look then to buy it back, right? And that's all we're doing, managing winners. It's no different than we've done it on every other strategy before, right? And we just want to see how those compare in terms of profitability. Well, as you might have guessed, buying it back for 50% of the max profit about doubles the profitability, right? So we're right 86% of the time for about $1.20 per day, which is a good double on just holding the expiration. And we're in the trade significantly less, almost a third of the time. Almost a third of the time we're in the trade, about 34% of the time to be exact. So again, managing this trade, which again is a bullish strategy in a bullish market, so completely understand why it works. But managing it early doubles your profits. And that's something we should absolutely be doing. So again, this works in all environments. But now we wanted to see, okay, we know it works, right? We know it works when you do it every day. We know that it doubles the profitability when you do it every day and manage your winners. But then what happens if you do it in periods of high volatility? Remember, we're selling options here, right? We're selling options, and the value of those options are based off their expected move, right? So when the expected move is greater than average, we know that options are even more overstated, right? So if volatility comes down, the value of those options is going to lose. They're going to lose value. Thus, we make money, right? So we want to see what happens when we sell it in periods when options are even more overstated than they normally are. We call that high volatility. So let's see what happens here, right? So again, doing it all the time, you make about 62 cents per day. Doing it all the time and managing at 50% of max profit, you're right about double that profitability. So about $1.20 per day. Then when we do it only in periods of high volatility and manage it at 50% of profit, we do another double, right? Our win percentage is a little bit worse, but again, we care about P&L per day. That's what we care about. So we've taken a trade that if you do it every day, you're right 62% of the time, and we made it 4 times as profitable. That's right, 4 times as profitable if you do it only in periods of high volatility and you manage it at 50% of the max profit. Right? So that's some real eye-opening stuff. That's some really awesome stuff here. Okay? So what if we don't know about volatility? What if we just want to know what the prices are? Maybe there are better times based on the amount of credit we receive than others. So what we did is similar to the call credit spread is we wanted to do this every single day. This time 30 delta put and 15 delta put, right? So 30 delta put, 15 delta put, right? And this is a little bit different. So we wanted to see what did it look like when we did it every single day, and we also want to know what did it look like if we did it in times when we collected a fifth of the width of the strikes in credit, right? So right here we're looking at an $8 wide spread. So $8 times 5. We would place this trade into our category of collecting a fifth of the width of the strikes if it collected $1.60 or more. In this case, when we do it today, we're only collecting 99 cents, right? So we wouldn't be able to bracket special category, right? But throughout this 14 and a half plus years, we've been able to, right? So when you do it every day, obviously it's a profitable strategy. This is a bull market. Both bull strategies work to the tune of about 15 cents per day. But as you might have imagined, when you're collecting a lot of credit, 20% of the width of the strikes, now you're right 90% of the time for 48 cents a day. So about 3 times more money per day. So this is really eye-opening. Let's go over it again. Again, selling a 40 delta put and buying a 20 delta put, doing that every single day results in a profitability of 62 cents per day. We take it a step further and we manage our winners. So we buy them back at 50% of max profit if we can. If not, we let them go to expiration, right? That doubles our P&L per day to $1.20. And then on top of that, when we choose wisely, when we do it in periods of high volatility, and we still manage it at 50% of max profit, we're right a double on top of that. So about $2.39 per day over a 14 and a half period. Pretty good. And then if we want to do a different spread, which is selling the 30 delta call, buying the 15 delta call, and we do it in periods where we're collecting 1/5 of the width of the strikes, we are 3 times as profitable as when we aren't. So again, the more credit we receive, the more money we make. The more we manage our winners, the more money we make. So again, guys, really eye-opening stuff here. I'll see you on the next video.